Hustler's Handbook 0 to G. The unfiltered playbook for building an empire from nothing. Introduction, the G Code. Why you're already a slave and how this book is your only escape. This is not a self-help book. Self-help is a lie whispered by the system to make you a more efficient slave. This book is a weapon. The life you lead is a cage with invisible bars. The 9-to-5 job you crawl to, the student debt that's a ball and chain around your ankle, the mortgage that owns you more than you own it, the predictable, passionless relationship that domesticates you, it's all part of the design. It's a meticulously crafted digital plantation, and you are the crop. The Matrix, a silent cabal of institutions and ideas, exists to farm your most valuable assets, your time, your energy, and your compliance. You are a battery. And you're running on empty, powering a world that isn't yours. Every time you punch a clock, you're trading seconds of your life for paper designed to keep you trapped. Every time you swallow your opinion to keep the peace, you're reinforcing the bars of your own cell. Every time you choose the comfortable path, you are choosing to die slowly. This book is the emergency override. It's a psychological jailbreak. It's the G code that will sever your connection to the machine. If you are offended by raw truth, if you seek comfort in lies, if you believe the world owes you a safe space, put this book down now. Go back to your feed, your games, your quiet desperation. Your compliance is the fuel the system runs on, and this book will only burn you. But if a part of you recognizes the lie, if you feel a primal rage against the quiet mediocrity the world demands of you, if you are ready to become the architect of your own reality instead of a tenant in someone else's, then turn the page. There is no middle ground. There is no trying. There is only the decision to escape, followed by the relentless, brutal, and glorious execution of that decision. This is your only chance. Welcome to the escape. Part 1, The Mental Rewiring, Annihilating the Beta. Chapter 1, Execute the Slave, a Psychological Purge. Before you make a dollar, before you build an empire, before you command the attention of a room simply by walking into it, you must first do something of paramount importance. You must commit a murder. You must kill a man. He lives inside your head. He has been your roommate since you were born, whispering poison into your ear. He is the slave. He is the beta. He is the voice of the Matrix made manifest in your own consciousness. He is the one who flinches when a beautiful woman looks at you. He's the one who says, "I can't afford that," instead of, "How can I afford that?" He is the one who apologizes when he has done nothing wrong. He is the one who works hard for a paycheck, deluding himself that loyalty to a corporation will be rewarded, blind to the fact that he is just a number on a spreadsheet, ready to be deleted. He is the one who dreams of a vacation, a brief escape from the cage he willingly returns to every Monday morning. He is pathetic. And he is you. Until today. Today, you drag him out into the street of your mind and you execute him. This is not a metaphor. This is a command. This chapter is a psychological purge, a deep cleanse of the slave code that has been injected into your veins by a society that needs you weak, compliant, and poor. The grand deception, humility, is a leash. Your first target is their most cherished virtue, humility. They told you to be humble. Why? Who benefits when a lion pretends to be a lamb? The sheep. Only the sheep. The Matrix, in its infinite cunning, designed the concept of humility to neuter the strong. It is a mental leash, a self-imposed handicap to prevent you from realizing the sheer scale of your own potential. Every time you downplay a victory, you are lying. You are insulting the effort it took to win. Every time you say, "Oh, it was nothing," you are reinforcing the slave's mindset that your achievements are accidents, not consequences of your will. Your ego is not your enemy. Your ego is divine. It is the voice of your ancestors, the roar of your bloodline, the universe itself screaming its purpose through you. That feeling you get that you are special, that you are destined for a life of opulence and glory that others can only dream of. That is not arrogance. That is the most honest signal you will ever receive. It is the truth. Your job is not to suppress it. Your job is to listen to it, to feed it, to obey it. From this day forward, you will practice active egoism. When you win, you will declare it. When you are the best man in the room, you will act like it. You will walk, talk, and breathe with the unshakable conviction of your own superiority. They will call you arrogant. They will say you've changed. You will reply, "Thank you." Their resentment is the proof that your purge is working. The narcissism of the gods, bending reality to your will. Next, you will embrace the term they use to shame you, narcissist. The slave-minded fool thinks narcissism is taking selfies and admiring your own reflection. That is the cheap, pathetic version the Matrix allows. True narcissism, the narcissism of kings, of conquerors, of gods, is the unwavering belief that your internal reality is more important than the external world. It is the ability to project your will onto the fabric of space-time so powerfully that reality itself has no choice but to bend and conform. You do not accept the world as it is. You impose the world as you see fit. When people doubt you, you do not argue. You do not try to convince them. Their disbelief is irrelevant. It is the buzzing of flies in a room where a lion is eating. You will build your empire on the foundations of their ridicule. You will drive your Bugatti down streets named after their insults. Your self-belief must become a physical force. People should feel it when you enter a room. It should be a palpable pressure, a shift in the atmosphere. They won't know what it is, but they will know that the man in charge has arrived. They will attack you with their words. They will try to inject doubt into your mind. This is their only weapon. And you will render it useless by understanding that their opinions have no more substance than air. You are the architect. They are just noise outside the construction site. The religion of discomfort, using stress as a sacrament. The Matrix wants you comfortable. It wants you sedated on a drip feed of cheap dopamine, processed food, mindless entertainment, pornography, the momentary bliss of a paycheck hitting your account. Comfort is the drug of the enslaved. It keeps you fat, slow, and stupid. It makes you fear the slightest tremor of instability. You must wage war on comfort. You must become a connoisseur of stress. Stress is the chisel that reveals the masterpiece. Your muscles do not grow in a warm bed, they grow when they are torn and broken in the gym. Your mind is no different. You must actively, deliberately, induce stress on your systems every single day. The shower is steaming hot. Turn it to ice cold for the last 60 seconds. Watch your mind scream in protest, and then dominate it with your will. You feel cozy and want to stay in? Good. Go for a run in the freezing rain. You have a little money saved up? Excellent. Put it into a high-risk venture that forces you to work 18-hour days to ensure it doesn't collapse. You must callous your mind just as a fighter calluses his knuckles. You need to reach a point where the chaos that would break an ordinary man is your Tuesday morning. You must feel more at home in a storm than you do in a quiet harbor. The business blade, deleting empathy. This is the final, most crucial cut. And it is the one where the slave inside you will scream the loudest. You must delete empathy from your business operating system. Let me be clear. I am not telling you to be cruel to your mother or to kick dogs. I am talking about the battlefield of commerce. In business, in negotiation, in the acquisition of power, empathy is a gaping security flaw in your software. It is a backdoor that every single one of your competitors and enemies will exploit without a moment's hesitation. When you are across the table from a man, trying to take his money in a deal, he is your enemy. He is trying to take yours. If you are busy feeling empathy for his situation, for his family, for his problems, you have already lost. You are thinking about him. He is thinking only about himself. You will be slaughtered. If your company must lay off 50 people to survive a recession and save the jobs of the other 500, empathy makes you agonize. It makes you weak. You hesitate. While you hesitate, the entire company burns to the ground and everyone loses their job. A commander, AG, sees the strategic necessity. He identifies the dead weight, he makes the cut cleanly and without emotion, and he saves the mission. He is not evil, he is responsible. You must learn to view business as a system of inputs and outputs. A machine. A game of chess. You do not feel sorry for the pawn you sacrifice to checkmate the king. It is a necessary move. To feel empathy for the pawn is to lose the game. And in the game of money and power, losing is not an option. Assignment for the purge. For the next 7 days, you will live by this new code. 1. Ego. At least once a day, when you accomplish something, no matter how small, state your victory out loud to someone, without humility. 2. Narcissism. When someone presents you with a negative opinion or doubts you, do not argue. Simply look at them, hold eye contact, and say, "Your reality is not my reality." Then walk away. 3. Stress. Do one thing every day that is physically or mentally uncomfortable. A cold shower. A difficult conversation you've been avoiding. A workout that pushes you to the point of failure. 4. Empathy. Identify one business or financial decision you need to make. Analyze it purely on logic and optimal outcome, with zero consideration for the feelings of the other party involved. You will do this not to see how it feels. You will do this because this is your new reality. The slave is dead. Long live the king. Chapter 2. The fallacy of passion. Why your dreams keep you poor. Let's talk about the most beautiful, insidious lie they ever told you. It's a poison coated in sugar, served to you by your art teacher, your life coach, and every broke poet who ever lived. The lie is this: follow your passion. This single piece of advice is responsible for more failed men, more broken dreams, and more empty bank accounts than any other platitude in human history. It is the Matrix's primary tranquilizer for aspiring men. It convinces you to chase a feeling instead of a result. It keeps you chained to a fantasy while the real world of money and power operates on a completely different set of laws. Passion is a fire that burns out. Discipline is a nuclear reactor. Passion is emotional. Business is brutal logic. Passion makes you weak. It makes you sentimental about a failing project. It makes you hold on to a bad idea because it's your idea. You are not here to feel good. You are here to win. Money over mission, the religion of the rich. You have a passion for vintage cameras. Wonderful. There are probably 5,000 other guys with the same passion, all competing to sell the same refurbished parts on eBay for a 7% profit margin. You will stay broke. Meanwhile, a man with zero passion for anything but his bank balance starts a commercial cleaning company for office buildings. A boring, unsexy, uninstagrammable business. He doesn't post motivational quotes about the art of sanitation. He doesn't love what he does. He loves the million-dollar contracts he signs while you're busy debating the merits of a 1970s lens cap. The G understands a fundamental truth: the world does not pay you for your passion. The world pays you to solve its problems. And the most lucrative problems are often the most boring. Logistics. Waste management. B2B software solutions. Payment processing. Nobody gets a tattoo of their payment processing company. Nobody writes songs about their efficient supply chain. They write checks. Big ones. Your mission is not to find a job you love. Your mission is to find a problem you can solve that the market will pay a fortune for. You must learn to fall in love with the numbers on a screen, with the black ink on a balance sheet, with the beautiful, cold, hard logic of profit and loss. Your passion is for the result. The result is freedom. The result is power. The result is the Bugatti. Weaponizing disinterest, the unbeatable advantage. When you are emotionally attached to your business, you are compromised. You are a compromised soldier. Imagine a surgeon who loves the tumor he is supposed to remove. He hesitates. He thinks, but this tumor has been with my patient for so long, it's a part of him. The patient dies. This is what you look like when you are passionate about your business. A true hustler, AG, is emotionally detached. My business is a tool. It is a weapon I use to extract money from the world. It is not my baby. It is not my art. It is a machine, and if one part of that machine is not performing, I rip it out and replace it without a second thought. If the entire machine becomes obsolete, I scrap it for parts and build a new one overnight. This emotional detachment gives you a superpower. You can make cold, rational decisions that the passionate entrepreneur cannot. You see the numbers trending down on your dog collar e-commerce store. The passionate man spends months rebranding. He runs sales. He talks about his vision. He loses everything. You liquidate the entire inventory in 72 hours, take a small loss, and use the remaining capital to jump into the next market, selling air purifiers, survival kits, whatever the data tells you is the next wave. You are a shark. You smell blood in the water, you feed, and you move on. You don't get attached to a particular patch of ocean. Discipline, the engine of the gods. Passion is a feeling. It's a spark. It comes and goes with your mood, with how much sleep you got, with whether a girl texted you back. It is unreliable. It is feminine. Discipline is a choice. It is a commitment. It is an action. It is masculine. Discipline is the ability to do the things you hate, as if you love them. You think I wake up at 5 a.m. and jump out of bed thrilled to analyze spreadsheets? You think I am passionate about the 16th hour of grinding work on a project I couldn't care less about? No. I am passionate about what that work buys me. I am addicted to winning. My discipline is the mechanism that guarantees victory. You must build the mental circuitry to force yourself to perform, regardless of how you feel. Motivation is a myth. You must become your own drill sergeant. You will sit at that desk when every fiber of your being wants to watch TV. You will make the cold calls when you are terrified of rejection. You will go to the gym when your body is screaming for rest. Why? Because every time you dominate your own feelings, you get stronger. Every time you choose the hard path, you are calcifying your will. You are proving to yourself that you are in control, not your fleeting emotions. This self-mastery is the ultimate power, and it will terrify ordinary people who are slaves to their own moods. Your hobby is a cage, not a rocket ship. Let me be absolutely clear. Your hobby is the thing you do for fun. Your business is the thing you do for money. Do not ever confuse the two. Trying to turn your passion into your profession is the fastest way to learn to hate your passion and still be broke. You love playing the guitar. Fantastic. Don't start a business giving guitar lessons for $20 an hour. That's a cage. It's a low-value trap that monetizes your soul for pocket change. Instead, start that boring-ass commercial cleaning company. Scale it. Systematize it. Make millions of dollars a year from it. Then, with that money, build a world-class recording studio in your mansion. Hire the best producers in the world to fly in on your private jet and record an album with you. That is how AG pursues his passion. From a position of absolute power and infinite resources. The money funds the passion does not fund the money. Keep your hobby pure. Let it be your escape, your meditation. And let your business be your war. A cold, brutal, and fantastically profitable war. Chapter 3: Why Speed is More Important Than God. The universe has one currency that matters more than dollars, more than gold, more than cryptocurrency. It is the only resource that is truly finite and the one that separates the predator from the prey. That currency is speed. A bullet is a small piece of lead. Its power does not come from its size, it comes from its velocity. AG operates like a bullet. The beta, the slave, operates like a glacier. He moves slowly, deliberately, and by the time he arrives, the world has changed and his opportunity has melted into nothing. You have been taught to be cautious, to plan, to look before you leap. This is slave programming, designed to keep you paralyzed. While you are busy looking, the man who acts is already on the other side, counting his money. In the modern world, the war is not won by the strong, it is won by the fast. The fast eat the slow. End of story. The 24-hour law of execution. This is not a suggestion. This is a law. Every idea you have, every spark of insight, every potential business venture, has a 24-hour shelf life. When an idea strikes, it is a flash of lightning from the universe, a direct signal. You have exactly 24 hours to act on it in a physical, meaningful way. Not to think about it. Not to research it. Not to write a business plan. To act. If you think of a new e-commerce product, you have 24 hours to buy the domain name, set up a basic landing page, and launch a single ad. If you identify a new service you could offer, you have 24 hours to draft the proposal and send it to 10 potential clients. Why? Because an idea is pure energy. It is momentum. The moment you fail to act, that energy begins to dissipate. The vacuum of your inaction sucks the life out of it. The slave mind starts to whisper its poisons. What if it fails? What if you're not ready? Maybe tomorrow. After 24 hours, the idea is no longer a bolt of lightning. It is a corpse. You had your chance, and you hesitated. You have proven to the universe that you are not a worthy vessel for its signals. It will stop sending them. AG lives in a state of perpetual launch. He is a machine of execution. He understands that acting on 10 ideas and having 9 of them fail is infinitely more valuable than having one perfect idea that rots in the graveyard of his mind. The Blitzkrieg method, quantity over quality. Perfectionism is the most elegant excuse for cowardice. It is the fear of failure dressed up in a tuxedo. The beta will spend 6 months designing the perfect website. He will obsess over the font. He will agonize over the color palette. By the time he launches, the market has moved on. Worse, he discovers that no one even wanted his perfect product in the first place. He has wasted 6 months of his life polishing a turd. The G applies the Blitzkrieg method. He carpet bombs the market with action. He will launch 10 websites in 6 months. 9 of them might be ugly. 7 of them might fail. But each one is a real-time data probe. Each failure provides him with invaluable information about what the market actually wants. While the beta is still planning his first move, the G has already fought 10 battles, learned from his losses, and is now pouring all his resources into the 2 ventures that showed promise. You must become a machine of output. Create, launch, fail, adapt, repeat. Your goal in the beginning is not to be perfect. Your goal is to be prolific. Your relentless speed will overwhelm your competitors. They will be watching your first launch, analyzing your mistakes, while you are already on your 5th. You are creating the weather. They are just reporting on it. Breaking the law of contemplation. Let me think about it. I need to sleep on it. I'll get back to you. These are the phrases of the week. They are the mantras of the permanently broke. These are the sounds of opportunities dying. AG understands that the cost of inaction is almost always higher than the cost of a wrong decision. A wrong decision gives you feedback. It gives you a scar. It gives you a lesson. Inaction gives you nothing. It is a void. It is the quiet regret of a life unlived. You must train your mind to make decisions with 70% of the information. If you wait until you have 100% of the information, you are too late. The decision-making muscle, like any other, grows with use. The more decisions you make, big and small, the faster and more intuitive you become. Is this woman the right person to hire? Decide in 5 minutes, not 5 days. Is this deal worth taking? Analyze the core numbers and make the call. If you are wrong, you will fix it. You will pivot. But you will not stand still. Movement is life. Contemplation is paralysis. The beta believes he is being wise when he hesitates. The G knows he is just being a coward. The world does not wait for you to make up your mind. It belongs to the decisive. It belongs to the fast. Part 2, The First Conquest, Cash is King. Chapter 4, The Webcam Principle, Monetizing Attention with Zero Capital. The theory is over. The mental purge is complete. Now, we build. Now, we conquer. The first step in any war is securing supply lines. For AG, the supply line is cash. Cold, hard, liquid cash. You need a war chest, and you need it yesterday. Forget your complex app ideas. Forget your 5-year plans. We are not planting an oak tree, we are launching a missile strike, and the target is immediate revenue. I am going to give you the blueprint for the perfect business model. It is the model that funded my initial ascent. It requires almost zero capital, has infinite scalability, and plugs directly into the most powerful and recession-proof force on planet Earth, male loneliness. We are going to build a webcam empire. Do not flinch. Do not let your slave programming scream about morality. This is not about porn, this is about power. This is a masterclass in applied psychology, supply and demand, and raw capitalism. If you are too weak to see the brilliance of the machine, close the book now. This is the first real test. The perfect machine, why this model is flawless. Analyze the mechanics. An ordinary business sells a product. A car. A compass cosy. You have material costs, shipping, storage, and 1,000 other anchors weighing you down. The webcam business sells a product that costs nothing to manufacture, attention. The fantasy of female companionship. You are selling a digital illusion to men who are starved for it. Cost, near zero. You need a laptop, an internet connection, and a room. Inventory, infinite. Attention doesn't run out of stock. Market, global and desperate. Loneliness is a pandemic. You have billions of potential customers. Scalability, limitless. What works with one girl works with 10. What works in one country works in all of them. You are not selling sex. You are selling a story. You are selling the illusion of intimacy, and you are selling it to the highest bidder, minute by minute. It is the most brilliant, efficient, and ruthless business model ever conceived. Recruiting your assets, the art of the modern Pygmalion. Your business needs employees. In this model, your employees are women. But you are not hiring them. You are sculpting them. You are their commander, their strategist, and their savior. Who do you look for? Do not look for professional models or actresses. They are jaded. They have their own ideas. You are looking for clay, not a finished statue. You are looking for girls with a void. Girls with daddy issues. Girls who post sad quotes on Instagram. Girls who are beautiful but have no idea how to wield their power. They are Ferraris without a driver. You are going to get behind the wheel. Your pitch is not, hey, do you want to work on a webcam? That is the plea of a beta. Your pitch is a vision. You approach them as a partner, a mentor. You say, I see something in you. You have this incredible power, this light, and you're wasting it. Society wants you to get a normal job, a normal life, to be average. I see you as a star. Together, you and I, we can build an empire. I'll handle the business, the marketing, the strategy. I will make you famous. I will make you rich. All you have to do is trust me and follow the plan. You are not offering a job. You are offering a destiny. You are selling them a dream where they are the star and you are the powerful producer making it all happen. You are giving their life a purpose, a direction, a mission. Your direction. Your mission. Manufacturing the product, the art of the sob story. Once you have your asset, you define the product. The product is a personality. It is a carefully crafted narrative designed to form a parasocial bond with the lonely men on the other side of the screen. You sit down with your girl and you script her character. Is she the girl next door, who is in college and needs help paying her tuition? Is she the rebellious artist, who is misunderstood by the world and only the viewers truly get her? Is she the heartbroken romantic, who was just cheated on and needs emotional support? This narrative is everything. It is what separates a $1 per minute girl from a $20 per minute girl. The men watching are not just buying nudity, they are buying the feeling of being her hero, her confidant, her secret savior. Every dollar they tip is a vote for her, a validation of their connection. You will teach her how to act. How to cry on command. How to accidentally reveal a personal detail that makes the user feel special. It is a theatrical performance, and you are the director. You are selling an Academy Award-winning performance of emotional intimacy, 24/7. The financials of a king. The split is not 50-50ths. Do not even let that pathetic, egalitarian thought enter your mind. A 50-50 split implies equal contribution. That is a lie. She is the talent. She is the actress on the stage. You are the director, the producer, the scriptwriter, the studio owner, the marketing department, and the security team. You built the stage. You wrote the script. You brought the audience. The split is 80-20ths. Or 70-30ths if you are feeling generous. You take the lion's share because you are providing the entire framework for success. You are the architect of the empire. She is a citizen within it. You will present this as a fantastic deal. She does the easy part, and you handle all the hard business complexities. She will agree, because you have already sold her on the dream, and you are the gatekeeper to that dream. From one girl making a few thousand a month, you scale to 10. You rent a single property. You create a production house. You now have a machine that prints money while you sleep. And more importantly, you have learned the single most valuable lesson in all of business, how to take an intangible human desire and systematically monetize it for massive profit. You have learned how to be a god of your own small universe. You have the blueprint. You have recruited your first asset. You have scripted her reality. You have set the financial terms in a way that reflects your absolute authority. A beta would think the work is done. He would sit back and watch the money trickle in. This is why he will always be a beta. Your work as a commander has just begun. The machine must be optimized, controlled, and fortified. The loyalty protocol, engineering absolute dependency. A woman's loyalty is not given, it is engineered. You must structure her reality so that her dependency on you is total. This is not cruelty, it is strategy. A soldier who can leave the army at any time is not a soldier, he is a tourist. Your assets must be soldiers. 1. Financial control. You handle all the money. All of it. The revenue from the platforms flows into accounts you control. You then provide her with an allowance or a salary. It will be a generous amount, more money than she has ever seen in her life, enough to keep her happy, comfortable, and adorned in the trinkets she desires. But it will never be the full amount. She must never know the true scale of the revenue she generates. Why? Because true financial independence gives her options. Options are your enemy. You are her provider. You are her bank. You are the source of all her material well-being. This creates a powerful psychological anchor of dependency. You are not her boss, you are her benefactor. 2. Psychological isolation. Her friends are your enemies. Her family is a potential threat. They operate on the slave code of the Matrix. They will see her newfound wealth in her unconventional job, and they will inject her with poison. He's using you, you should be getting more, this isn't right. You must systematically isolate her from these influences. This is done not with force, but with finesse. You frame it as protection. You say, they don't understand our mission. They are jealous of your success. Their small minds can't comprehend the empire we are building. Their advice is designed to pull you back down to their level. I am the only one who truly has your best interests at heart. It's us against the world. You will shower her with a lifestyle her friends can only dream of. You will create a world so exciting, so opulent, that her old life seems drab and pathetic in comparison. Soon, she will isolate herself. She will choose the empire over her past. 3. The hot/cold system of command. Predictability creates comfort. Comfort creates complacency. You must remain a source of unpredictable power. One day, you shower her with gifts and praise for her performance. You are the loving, supportive commander. The next day, you are distant, analytical, and critical of a minor flaw in her work. You create a dynamic where she is constantly striving for your approval. Your approval becomes the most valuable currency in her world. This emotional roller coaster keeps her focused, sharp, and utterly fixated on pleasing you. It is the same technique used to train elite animals. It is flawless. Managing the stable, the art of internal competition. 1 asset is a business. 2 or more assets is a stable. And a stable of thoroughbreds is managed with an iron fist. Never let your assets become friends. Never let them form a union. They are not colleagues. They are competitors in a silent war for your resources and your approval. You will have a leaderboard. It can be a literal whiteboard in your production house or a mental one that you communicate through your actions. Who had the highest earnings this week? Who gets the bonus? Who gets taken out for the expensive dinner? Who gets the newest iPhone for their work? By making them compete against each other, you harness their natural feminine competitiveness and aim it directly at your bottom line. They will work harder. They will be more creative. They will push themselves to their absolute limits, not just for the money, but to win the game you have created. You do not need to be a tyrant shouting orders. You simply need to be the king, calmly observing the tournament you have engineered and rewarding the victors. The dynamic will manage itself. Defending your fortress, crushing dissent and competition. Your empire will be attacked. It is inevitable. The attacks will come from outside and, more dangerously, from within. External threats, other men, betas with a flicker of ambition, will see your success and try to copy it. They may even try to poach your talent. This is handled with overwhelming force. You must make an example of the first man who tries. You use your resources to dismantle his operation. You report his accounts. You use your superior knowledge of the platforms to have him banned. You make it clear that your territory is protected by a king, not guarded by a jester. Internal threats. The more dangerous threat is the girl who becomes too smart. The one who starts to understand the true scale of the operation and believes she can do it herself. This is a mutiny, and it must be crushed before it begins. Your entire system of control is designed to prevent this, but if a girl decides to leave and go independent, you must make her failure a public spectacle. You cannot let the other girls in your stable see that leaving is a viable option. You remind her that her contract contains a non-compete clause. Even if it's legally shaky, it's a powerful psychological threat. You remind her that you own the accounts, you own the audience data, you control the traffic. She thinks the fans love her. They love the character you created. Without your marketing, your strategy, and your platform, she is just another girl on the internet. You will cut off her access. You will immediately replace her with a new, younger, more motivated model. And you will ensure her solo venture fails miserably. Her failure becomes a cautionary tale for the rest of your stable. It reinforces their dependency and your absolute authority. You are not just building a business, you are building a fortress, and you will defend its walls at all costs. This is the cold calculus of empire. Every step is logical. Every action is necessary. We are not here to make friends. We are here to make money. This was never about webcams. This was, and is, a lesson in power. It is your first taste of what it means to build a world and be its god. Now, let's talk about how to apply these principles to the digital world at large. Chapter 5: Digital Warfare, E-commerce, Content, and Crypto Raids. The webcam principle was your boot camp. It taught you the fundamental laws of power, how to manufacture a product from nothing, how to command loyalty, and how to monetize the weaknesses of the masses. Now, you will take that warrior's mindset and apply it to the broader digital battlefield. Do not make the beta's mistake of thinking you are now an e-commerce guy or a content creator. You are not. You are a contra. These domains are not your identity, they are simply territories to be plundered. AG uses any weapon that achieves the objective. E-commerce, content, crypto, these are your digital rifles, grenades, and sniper scopes. Master them, use them to fund your ascent, and be ready to drop them the second a better weapon appears. The e-commerce raid, a smash and grab operation. Forget everything you've heard about building a brand. Brands are for sentimental fools who want to leave a legacy. A legacy is a pretty tombstone for a broke man. You are not building a legacy. You are building a bank account. Your approach to e-commerce is not a long-term siege, it is a blitzkrieg. It is a smash and grab raid. 1. Identify the target. Your targets are trends. You are a heat-seeking missile locked onto the fleeting desires of the mob. You will monitor platforms like TikTok and Instagram like a hawk. What stupid gadget is going viral this week? A portable blender? A sunset lamp? A fidget toy for adults? It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's useful. All that matters is that the herd wants it now. 2. Secure supplies with zero risk. You will find this product on a site like AliExpress for pennies. You will then set up a clean, simple, and aggressive Shopify store. This should take you no more than 3 hours. You will use the dropshipping model. This is non-negotiable. You will never, ever spend your own capital holding inventory. Inventory is a boat anchor. With dropshipping, you use the customer's money to buy the product after they have already paid you. You are a middleman in a transaction where you hold all the power and zero risk. It is a perfect financial vehicle. 3. The lightning attack. You will create a series of relentless, high-pressure video ads. Use scarcity, only 50 left. Use urgency, flash sale ends in 1 hour. Target your ads with laser precision at the exact demographic that is drooling over this product. You will flood their feed until they cannot escape the thought of your product. 4. Pillage and burn. You will ride this trend wave for exactly as long as it is profitable. The moment you see sales begin to plateau or the market becomes saturated with other copycats, you burn the operation to the ground without a second thought. You shut down the store, kill the ads, and disappear. You have pillaged the village. You do not stay to become the mayor. You take your profits and immediately begin scanning the horizon for your next target. While the betas are still trying to sell last month's fidget spinner, you have already completed 3 more successful raids. Content as ammunition, building your digital army. An audience is a collection of passive observers. An army is a legion of active fanatics. You are not in the business of creating an audience. You are recruiting an army. Your content is not meant to entertain or inform. It is ammunition designed to achieve three objectives: indoctrinate, polarize, and monetize. 1. Indoctrination. Every video, every tweet, every post must reinforce your frame as the commander, the top G. You display the spoils of war, the supercars, the private jets, the beautiful women, the powerful physique. This is not bragging. This is proof of concept. This is the visual evidence that your philosophy is superior. You mix this with unapologetic, hardcore lessons from your worldview. You are programming your soldiers to see the world as you see it. 2. Polarization. If nobody hates you, nobody truly loves you. You are lukewarm, and lukewarm is the temperature of the forgotten. You must be a polarizing force. Your opinions must be so strong, so contrary to the weak narrative of the Matrix, that they force a decision. A person who consumes your content must either become a loyal soldier or a declared enemy. There is no in-between. Every hater who comments on your video is a gift. Their impotent rage boosts your engagement, exposes your content to more potential recruits, and strengthens the bond with your existing army. They are working for you for free. 3. Monetization. Your army is useless if it cannot fund the war. Every piece of content you release must be a funnel. It must lead somewhere. It must guide your soldiers to the armory where they can buy the tools you are selling them. A private community. A fitness program. A course on one of your hustles. Your content creates the problem. They are weak, poor, and lost in the matrix, and your paid products are the only solution. Do not be shy about this. You are their commander. They owe you their loyalty, and that loyalty is paid in cash. The crypto raid, speculation for warriors. Forget investing. Investing is what your father does with his pension fund, hoping for a pathetic 8% annual return so he can afford to eat cat food when he's 70. That is a slave's game. We are not investors. We are raiders. And the crypto market is the most target-rich environment on Earth. It is a pure, unregulated ocean of human emotion, fear, greed, hype, and stupidity. And you, as a disciplined, emotionally detached G, will feast on it. Your target is not Bitcoin. Your target is not Ethereum. Those are the slow-moving battleships of the old world. Your targets are the small, fast, and insanely volatile shitcoins. The plan. 1. Identify the hype. You are looking for a coin with a story. A stupid meme, a charismatic founder, a cult-like community. The fundamentals are irrelevant. The technology is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is the narrative and the hype it can generate. 2. The initial push. You get in early. You use a small, disposable amount of capital. Then, you use your content army to become the biggest voice promoting this coin. You create the illusion of an inevitable rise. You talk about its revolutionary potential, even though you know it's worthless. 3. Ride the pump. Your army buys in. The price starts to move. Outsiders see the movement and FOMO, fear of missing out, kicks in. They pile in, pushing the price parabolic. This is the wave. You are surfing on the greed of the masses. 4. The exit. You do not fall in love with the coin. You do not believe in the project. The moment you see the hype reach a fever pitch, the moment it hits mainstream news or your idiot cousin starts asking you about it, that is your signal to exit. You sell your entire position. You do it quietly and you do it completely. The price will inevitably crash back to zero. The believers will be left holding worthless bags, crying about manipulation. They are right. They were manipulated. By you. You did not invest. You executed a raid. You transferred wealth from the emotional and foolish to the disciplined and ruthless. You played the player, not the game. Chapter 6, The Art of the Kill, How to Spot and Seize Dying Markets. The herd, in its infinite stupidity, chases hype. They scramble like insects toward the brightest, newest light, a new trend, a new technology, a new social media platform. They are fighting a bloody war of attrition in an overcrowded space. A beta competes. AG dominates. And sometimes, the most complete domination occurs where no one else is even looking. While the amateurs are fighting over the healthy gazelle on the plains, a true predator understands the profound efficiency of the kill. He looks for the lion that is old, the industry that has grown slow, fat, and blind. He understands that there is immense profit in decay. This is the art of the kill, learning to feast on the dying. The scent of death, identifying bleeding industries. Your senses must be attuned to the scent of weakness, of obsolescence, of institutional arrogance. You are not looking for what is popular now, you are looking for what is inevitably doomed. What are the signs? Generational complacency. Look for industries run by old men. Men who say, "This is how we've always done it." Men who dismiss the internet as a fad, who print paper memos, who believe in handshake deals over ironclad contracts. Their refusal to adapt is a terminal illness. You are the disease's final stage. Think of traditional taxi medallions before Uber, or brick-and-mortar bookstores that sneered at Amazon. Their pride was the signature on their own death warrant. Unnecessary complexity. Find the industries built on gatekeeping. The ones that rely on middlemen, complex jargon, and bureaucratic nonsense to keep ordinary people out and justify their inflated fees. Think of traditional real estate brokers, art dealers, or financial advisors. Technology is a tidal wave that erodes all complexity. You will be that wave. You will offer a solution that is faster, cheaper, and more transparent, and you will wash them away. Reliance on a single pillar. Look for businesses whose entire existence relies on a single, fragile pillar. A restaurant that survives only because of its one famous chef. A company whose main product relies on a patent that is about to expire. A YouTube channel built entirely around a video game that is losing players. When that single pillar cracks, the entire temple will fall. You will be there to buy the rubble for pennies on the dollar. You must become a student of inevitability. You must see the future so clearly that it feels like a memory. Their death is not a possibility, it is a scheduled event. You are simply arriving to supervise the funeral. The last man standing gambit. When a market is dying, the herd flees. They sell their equipment, lay off their staff, and run towards the next bright, shiny object. Foals. They are running away from a guaranteed income stream. This is where you execute the last man standing gambit. Instead of fighting 10,000 other sharks in a growing ocean, you become the lone shark in a shrinking pond. As your competitors go bankrupt, you do not celebrate. You absorb. You buy their phone numbers. You put up ads targeting their old business name. You capture their fleeing, desperate customers. You do not need to innovate. You simply need to exist. Imagine an old piece of industrial machinery used in a handful of factories. The original manufacturer went out of business years ago. The parts are impossible to find. You will not invent a new machine. You will find a way to manufacture that one specific, outdated gear. You will become the only supplier on Earth for that part. You can name your price. The factories will pay it, because the alternative is a multi-million-dollar overhaul they cannot afford. This is a cash cow with a death date. You know this business won't last forever. It doesn't need to. You will milk it dry, extracting every last dollar of profit from the market's inertia, and then you will move on, your war chest overflowing. Vulture capitalism, feasting on the carcass. This is the highest, most ruthless level of the game. This is where you profit not just from a dying industry, but from the specific, individual failures of other men. When a business goes bankrupt, the beta sees a tragedy. The G sees a fire sale. The owner, drowning in debt and despair, sees his life's work as a pile of worthless junk. He just wants it gone. You will be his savior. You will be the vulture that cleans the bones. What are you looking for? Customer lists and data. This is the absolute gold. A company that sold $1 million in widgets just went under. For $500, you can buy their customer email list. You have just acquired an audience of proven buyers in that niche for less than the cost of a decent dinner. You did not spend a single dollar on ads to build that list. You simply profited from another man's apocalypse. Digital real estate. They owned a domain name that once had thousands of visitors a day. They had a social media account with 100,000 followers. To the bankrupt owner, these are dead. To you, they are strategic assets. You buy the domain and redirect the traffic to your new store. You buy the social media account and start marketing your own products to its built-in audience. Physical inventory. The warehouse is full of products he couldn't sell. He will sell it to you for 10 cents on the dollar just to be free of it. You take that inventory, rebrand it, bundle it, and sell it on a different platform with better marketing. You are an expert in arbitrage, and this is the ultimate form, the arbitrage of failure. This strategy requires a heart of ice. You must be able to look at a man's shattered dream and see only a series of assets to be stripped and monetized. But do not mistake this for evil. This is the pure, natural order of capitalism. The weak sail. The strong adapt. And the strongest of all, the G, profits from the failures of the weak. It is the food chain, and you have just decided to stop being the prey. Part 3, Weaponizing Reality. Chapter 7, Social Engineering for Sociopaths, How to Bend People to Your Will. You have learned to see the world as a machine of money. Now you must learn to see people as a system of levers and buttons. Every human being you meet is a walking, talking computer, pre-programmed with a set of fears, desires, insecurities, and glitches. A beta interacts with them hoping for a good outcome. A G logs in as the administrator. This is not about charisma or being a people person. That is the soft, pathetic language of the slave. This is about social engineering. It is the art of manipulating the human operating system to make people do what you want them to do, often while making them believe it was their own idea. To master this, you must become a psychological sociopath in your interactions, cold, calculating, and ruthlessly effective. The diagnostic scan, identifying core insecurities. The first step in hacking any system is to find its vulnerabilities. A human's vulnerabilities are their insecurities. Within the first 60 seconds of meeting someone, you must conduct a rapid diagnostic scan. Listen to what they overemphasize. Does a man constantly talk about how honest he is? He is likely insecure about a past dishonesty. Does a woman constantly post about how strong and independent she is? She is terrified of being seen as weak and needy. People telegraph their deepest fears by building the most elaborate facades to hide them. Observe their status signals. What is he wearing? Is it a genuine Rolex or a convincing fake? The man wearing a fake is screaming his financial insecurity. Is she wearing a t-shirt for a band she clearly knows nothing about? She is insecure about her cultural relevance. These signals are error messages popping up on their internal screen. Probe with subtle negs. The neg is not an insult. It is a targeted probe designed to test their emotional armor. To a man who seems overly proud of his physique, you might say, "You hit the gym hard. Mostly for size, or do you do any functional strength training?" This subtly questions his legitimacy and forces a reaction. If he becomes defensive, you have found the button. You have identified his core insecurity. He is afraid of being seen as all show and no go. Once you have identified the primary insecurity, you own them. You now have the master password to their psyche. You can use it to build rapport by validating it. No, man, it's clear you're seriously strong, or to subtly control them by threatening it. Manufacturing rapport, the illusion of connection. People do business with people they like. But liking is not a mystical connection. It is a chemical reaction in the brain that you can deliberately trigger. Mirroring, this is the most basic, yet most powerful, hack. You will subtly mirror the body language of your target. If he leans forward, you lean forward. If she crosses her legs, you cross yours. Do not be an obvious mime. It must be subtle, almost subconscious. This creates a powerful, primal feeling of sameness. Their lizard brain sees you and thinks, he is like me. He is safe. I can trust him. Pacing and leading, first, you pace their reality. You verbally reflect their worldview back to them. You agree with their complaints about their boss. You validate their political frustrations. You show them you are in their world. Once you have established this baseline of agreement, pacing, you can then begin to lead. You slowly introduce your own ideas, your own frame, your own agenda. Because you have already aligned with them, they will follow you without resistance. You have paced them into submission. The debt ledger, making the world owe you. You will now construct a subconscious debt ledger with every person you interact with. The goal is to make everyone feel subtly, perpetually indebted to you. This is done through the strategic application of favors, information, and validation. When you give a man a small piece of valuable information, a tip on a deal, or an introduction he couldn't get himself, you are not being kind. You are making a deposit in your debt ledger. When you publicly praise a subordinate for their work, you are not being a good leader. You are putting them in your debt. The key is to never ask for repayment directly. The debt must remain subconscious. It creates a powerful urge in the other person to level the score. They will be more likely to agree to your future requests. They will defend you in conversations when you are not there. They will work harder for you. You have created a silent army of debtors who are all working to repay a debt they don't even consciously know they owe. You own their goodwill, and you can cash it in whenever you choose. This is how you build a network that is not just a collection of contacts, but a web of obligations, with you at the center, pulling all the strings. Chapter 8, The Masculine Frame, Controlling Every Room, Every Deal, Every Woman. We must now discuss the single most important weapon in your arsenal. It is more powerful than your money, more critical than your business, and more intimidating than your physical strength. It is the invisible force field that determines the outcome of every interaction you will ever have. It is called frame. Frame is not confidence. Confidence is a feeling. Frame is a law of social physics. It is the underlying reality of an interaction. Every conversation, every negotiation, every relationship is a battle between two frames. One will be stronger, and one will be weaker. There are no exceptions. The stronger frame will always absorb and consume the weaker one. The man with the stronger frame sets the rules. He defines the reality. The man with the weaker frame accepts those rules and lives in that reality. AG does not simply enter a room, he imposes his frame upon it until it becomes the only reality there is. Frame is everything. Without it, you are a king with no kingdom, a rich, powerful slave, adrift in a world controlled by the frames of other men, and worse, the frames of women. The physical architecture of dominance. Your frame is projected before you ever speak a word. It is broadcast by the way you occupy space. The beta moves through the world as if he is apologizing for his own existence. He is tense, constricted, and reactive. AG moves with the deliberate, unhurried grace of a predator. 1. The commander's posture, you will take up space. When you sit with your legs open. When you stand, your shoulders are back and down. You are relaxed, but solid, a mountain. Your movements are economical and deliberate. You do not fidget. You do not tap your foot. You do not engage in nervous, twitchy gestures. The slave is constantly buzzing with nervous energy. The king is a study in stillness. His lack of movement implies that the world moves around him, not the other way around. 2. The predator's gaze. The beta's eyes dart around the room, seeking approval, looking for threats. He is prey. Your gaze is different. It is the gaze of a predator, calm, assessing, and unwavering. When you speak to someone, you look directly into their eyes. You are not trying to intimidate them, you are trying to read their soul. You will hold that eye contact until they look away. When they break eye contact, they have subconsciously submitted to your frame. You have won the first, most critical battle without saying a word. 3. The voice of God. The beta speaks from his throat, in a high, questioning tone. His sentences have an upward inflection at the end, turning his statements into pleas for validation. It is the voice of a supplicant. You will speak from your diaphragm, from your chest. Your voice will be a low, resonant hum. Your cadence will be slow and measured. You are in no rush. Rushing is a signal of neediness. You will end your sentences with a downward inflection. You are not asking questions. You are making declarations. You are not stating your opinion. You are stating the facts of your reality. Verbal warfare, dominating the narratives. Once the physical frame is set, you will dominate the verbal one. Conversation is not a friendly exchange, it is a joust for control. Never justify, always declare. When your authority or your decisions are questioned, the beta's instinct is to justify himself. This is a fatal mistake. Justification is a defensive posture. It immediately signals that the questioner's frame is the dominant one and you are a guest within it. You will never justify. You will reframe or declare. Oh beta, why is your price so high? Well, you see, our materials are high quality and our overhead is significant. He has accepted their frame that the price is high and is now defending it. Oh gee, why is your price so high? We are the most expensive because we are the best. This is for winners. If you are looking for cheap, you are in the wrong place. He rejects their frame, imposes his own frame of elite value, and challenges their status. Amused mastery. A beta reacts to insults or challenges with anger or defensiveness. Anger is a catastrophic loss of frame. It means the other person has gotten under your skin and is controlling your emotional state. AG views challenges not as threats, but as entertainment. He treats the insults of lesser men with the amused mastery of a king watching a court jester. A slight smirk, a raised eyebrow, a calm, dismissive chuckle, these are the tools that annihilate their attack. You find their attempt to challenge you cute. This is psychologically devastating for your opponent. Agree and amplify. This is an advanced technique. When someone tries to label you with a negative trait, you agree with them and amplify it to an absurd degree. This demonstrates that their label has zero power over you. Oh beta, you're so arrogant. No, I'm not. I'm just confident. He is now defending himself against their label. Oh gee, you're so arrogant. Arrogant? You have no idea. My butler polishes the gold statue of me every morning. Arrogance is the baseline for men like me. He has taken their weapon, disarmed it, and beaten them with it. The final boss, the war of masculine versus feminine frames. All of this training culminates in the most important battle you will ever fight, the constant, unending war between the masculine and feminine frames. The feminine frame is, by its very nature, a force of beautiful, glorious chaos. It is emotional. It is reactive. It is a swirling storm of feelings that can change from one minute to the next. Its primal, biological purpose is to test. It constantly prods and pushes against the masculine frame, searching for cracks, searching for weakness. A woman does not do this because she is malicious. She does it because her deep, reptilian brain needs to know if the man leading her is a rock, or if he is sand. She needs to know if the fortress she is in has strong walls. The beta fails this test every single time. When his woman enters an emotional storm, he rushes into it with her. He uses logic to fight her feelings. He apologizes for things he didn't do, hoping to calm the storm. He enters her reality. He accepts her frame. In that moment, he has become the woman in the relationship, and she, having found no strength in him, has lost all respect for him. He has failed. A G's frame is a mountain. It is an unmovable object. When the feminine storm arrives, he does not enter it. He observes it. He may even be amused by it. He understands that her emotional outburst is not reality, it is a weather pattern passing through her. He does not argue. He does not defend. He remains a calm, solid, unreactive presence. He is the lighthouse in her storm. You never listen to me. You don't care about my feelings. The beta, that's not true. I'm listening right now. What did I do wrong? The G holds eye contact, waits for the storm to pass, then says calmly, "You seem upset. We can talk when you've calmed down. I'm going to go make a coffee." He does not validate the tantrum. He does not submit to the chaos. His reality remains his reality. By refusing to be pulled into her frame, his frame becomes the dominant one. The storm will break against his strength, and finding it unyielding, she will feel a profound, primal sense of security. He has passed the test. This is the ultimate expression of power. Without mastering your frame, you can have all the money in the world and you will still be a puppet, controlled by the whims of your employees, your competitors, and the women in your life. Master your frame, and you become the puppeteer. You become the king. Chapter 9, Becoming the Spectre, Crafting an Unforgettable, Untouchable Personal Brand. Your business is not your brand. Your product is not your brand. Your logo is a meaningless squiggle. Let the betas and their marketing agencies waste their time on that nonsense. You are the brand. Your life, your philosophy, your very existence, that is the product. You will not build a brand. You will forge a myth. You will become a legend. You will become a specter, a presence so powerful it haunts the minds of your enemies and inspires fanatical devotion in your followers. A specter is inescapable. A specter cannot be debated. A specter cannot be cancelled. It is a force of nature. This chapter is your guide to becoming that force. The dichotomy strategy: be both villain and hero. The Matrix wants you to be likable. It wants you to be agreeable, moderate, and palatable to the widest possible audience. This is a recipe for being forgotten. Likability is the currency of the mediocre. The most powerful brands in history were not likable, they were polarizing. They forced a choice. You must become a walking, talking dividing line. If nobody hates you, nobody truly loves you. You are lukewarm water, destined to be spat out. You must engineer your persona to be so sharp, so unapologetic, that it is impossible to be neutral about you. A person who encounters your content must make an immediate, visceral decision. Are you their enemy, or are you their king? The enemy: every piece of hate mail, every negative comment, every hit piece written about you is a gift. It is free marketing of the highest order. Your enemies, in their impotent rage, become your loudest evangelists. They share your clips out of outrage, exposing your philosophy to millions you would have never reached otherwise. Their hatred fuels the algorithm that feeds you new recruits. You will never block them. You will never argue with them. You will let their fury serve as the dark, crackling energy that powers your ascent. The soldier, the man who sees the hatred and is not repelled, but attracted, is not a fan. He is a soldier who has found his general. By forcing him to choose a side against the screaming mob, you have secured a level of loyalty that no corporate brand could ever dream of. He doesn't just like your product. He sees defending you as defending a part of his own identity. You are his champion in a world that wants him weak. His loyalty will be absolute. You will deliberately say things that you know will enrage the Matrix and its drones. You will state cold, hard truths about male-female dynamics, about money, about power. You will not soften the blow. You will use their predictable outrage as a strategic tool to sift the population, separating the iron-willed recruits from the weak-minded chaff. The power of symbols, propagandas for the eye. Your philosophy must be made visible. It must be made tangible. An abstract idea is easy to dismiss. A Bugatti is not. The symbols of your success are not for your own ego. They are propaganda. They are undeniable proof of work. Every luxury car, every tailored suit, every expensive watch, every private jet is a strategic piece of visual communication. It is an argument that requires no words. The car is a philosophical statement. When you drive a high-performance supercar, you are not just driving a piece of machinery. You are broadcasting a message. I have bent reality to my will. I have escaped the 9-to-5 cage that holds you prisoner. The rules of scarcity and limitation that govern your life do not apply to me. The slave sees a supercar and feels envy, a weak and useless emotion. Your soldiers see it and feel hope, a powerful catalyst for action. The watch is a declaration of value. AG does not wear a watch to tell time. He has a phone for that. He wears a Patek Philippe or an Audemars Piguet to make a silent declaration about the value of his own time. It signals that his minutes are worth more than most people's years. It is a filter. It tells other high-level players that you operate on their frequency. It tells the beta that you are not to be trifled with. Your physique is your billboard. Before they see your car or your watch, they see you. Your physical body is the billboard for your discipline. A man who is overweight, weak, and out of shape is broadcasting that he cannot even control his own appetites. How can such a man be trusted to build an empire? You must be a physical testament to your own philosophy. Strong, disciplined, visibly powerful. Your physique is the foundation upon which all other symbols of success are built. You will curate these symbols with the meticulous care of a museum curator. Each one must be authentic and must reinforce the central myth, that you are a man who escaped the matrix through sheer force of will. Living on camera, the ultimate act of frame control. The final stage of becoming a specter is to dissolve the line between your public and private self. There is no off time. There are no off-the-record moments. Your entire life is now a piece of performance art, and you are both the artist and the masterpiece. This is not about being fake. It is about becoming hyper-real. It is about deliberately and consciously living a life that is in perfect alignment with the myth you have created. Every tweet you send, every photo you post, every interaction you have in public must be a scene in the movie of your life. And you are the director. You do not have a bad day. The G does not get sad or mopey. He gets angry. He gets focused. He uses adversity as fuel. If you feel weak, you do not show it to the world. You show the world the relentless workout you put yourself through because you felt a flicker of weakness. You do not document your failures. You document your victories over your failures. You are curating your reality in real time. You are building your own legend with every action. The beta lives a life of accidental consequence. The G lives a life of deliberate narrative construction. He knows what story he is telling, and he never breaks character. Because it is not a character. It is the man he has forged himself to be. This is the ultimate expression of frame. You have not just controlled the frame of a single conversation, you have controlled the frame of your entire existence. You have become the author, director, and star of the greatest story ever told, your own. You have become a miss. You have become a specter. Chapter 10: How Women Can Build or Destroy Your Empire. A G who does not understand women is a general who does not understand the weather. He can have the finest army, the most brilliant strategy, and the strongest fortress, but he will still be defeated by a hurricane he did not see coming. A woman is not a partner. She is not your other half. Such sentimentalities are the lullabies of the beta, sung to him as his power is quietly siphoned away. A woman, in the context of your empire, is a force of nature. She is either a multiplier of your power or a weapon of mass destruction aimed at the very heart of your ambitions. There is no in-between. She is either the wind in your sails, pushing you toward your conquest, or she is the iceberg that sinks your entire fleet. Your ability to discern between the two, to choose the asset and ruthlessly discard the liability, will be a more critical factor in your success than your business acumen. Many a rich man has been reduced to rubble, not by a bad deal, but by a bad woman. This chapter is your shield. It is your guide to wielding this beautiful, chaotic, and unimaginably powerful force. The vetting protocol, a non-negotiable inspection. You do not fall in love. Falling is for victims. You choose a woman with the same cold, calculating precision with which you would choose a chief financial officer. Her beauty is merely the price of admission. It is the most basic, entry-level requirement. The true vetting protocol goes much deeper. A woman who is granted access to your world must possess the following non-negotiable traits. 1. Absolute loyalty. Her loyalty must be to you and your mission above all else, above her friends, above her family, above her own fleeting feelings. How do you test this? You create small loyalty tests. You observe her. When your enemies attack you online, does she defend you with the ferocity of a lioness, or does she say, "Well, I can see their point"? The latter is a traitor in waiting. Discard her immediately. Her primary function is to be the guardian of your frame, your reputation, and your peace of mind. Any woman who fails in this duty is less than worthless. 2. A quiet spirit. You are the storm. You are the force of chaos and conquest in the world. Your woman must be your harbor. She must be the calm, quiet center of your life where you can recharge for the next battle. If she is a source of drama, if she creates problems, if she thrives on conflict and emotional turbulence, she is a saboteur. She is draining your precious energy reserves on internal conflicts instead of allowing you to focus them on external enemies. A peaceful home is a strategic asset of immeasurable value. A chaotic woman is a cancer in your headquarters. 3. Profoundly feminine energy. You do not need another man in your life. You do not need a boss bitch who wants to compete with you. That is a boardroom, not a relationship. You need a woman who operates in her pure, feminine essence. She is nurturing. She is supportive. She finds her greatest joy in your success, because your success is her success. She understands that your mission is the primary mission. A woman competing with you is a civil war. A woman supporting you is an empire doubling its power. The strategic deployment of feminine energy. Once you have vetted and selected an asset, you must learn how to deploy her unique power. A beautiful, loyal, and intelligent woman is a master key that can open doors your masculine force cannot. The social reconnaissance unit. Women are masters of social intuition. They can read the subtle cues in a room, the whispers, the glances, the hidden alliances, that you, in your focused, masculine drive, might miss. Before a critical business meeting, you can deploy her into the social environment. She will return with a complete report on the psychological landscape, who is insecure, who is the real decision maker, who dislikes whom. This is battlefield intelligence of the highest order. The diplomatic corps. There are times when your aggressive, dominant frame is not the right tool. Sometimes, you need charm, not force. A beautiful woman with a calm demeanor can disarm your rivals in a way you never could. She can smooth over a tense negotiation. She can secure information from a man who would be on his guard with you. She is your diplomat, your spy, your secret weapon cloaked in beauty. You are the hammer, she is the scalpel. The fortress of serenity, her most critical role is managing your environment. When you return from the war of business, your home must be a sanctuary. It must be clean. It must be organized. It must be peaceful. This is not a chore, this is a vital strategic function. A man who comes home to chaos and nagging will go back to war the next day with a fractured mind. A man who comes home to a fortress of serenity returns to battle with his energy and focus completely restored. She is the guardian of your power source. The liability test and the purge. You must be constantly vigilant for signs of decay, for the moment an asset begins to turn into a liability. The signs are always the same. She starts competing with you instead of supporting you. She brings external drama into your peaceful sanctuary. She begins questioning your mission or your frame, influenced by her matrix-programmed friends. She becomes lazy in her primary function of maintaining your fortress of serenity. She begins to see your resources not as the fruits of our empire, but as something she is owed. The moment you identify these signs, you do not talk it out. You do not go to therapy. You do not try to fix her. You punch her. The act must be swift, decisive, and absolute. You will cut her off financially. You will remove her from your home. You will block all communication. It must be a surgical amputation. To hesitate is to allow the infection to spread. It is to show the world, and any other women in your life, that your standards are negotiable. They are not. Your mission is paramount. Anyone or anything that threatens the mission is an enemy, and enemies are eliminated without sentiment. This will be difficult. The slave inside you will scream about the good times, about the connection you had. You must execute that slave once more. An emperor does not mourn the loss of a single disloyal soldier when the fate of the entire empire is at stake. The final, unbreakable law is this: a woman can be your greatest advisor, your most valuable asset, and the manager of your home. But she will never, ever, be in charge of your money or your business. She will never be the CEO. She will never have final say. She will never hold the keys to the treasury. Her nature is emotional. Business is logic. Mixing the two is like mixing fire and gunpowder. You grant her a luxurious life built by the empire, but you will never, ever give her the keys to the castle. That is a line you will never cross. To do so is to guarantee your own destruction. Part 4, Forging the Empire. Chapter 11, Hiring Soldiers, Not Employees. Your empire is growing. The money is flowing. You've become a force. And now you face the most irritating problem a king can have: you can't be everywhere at once. Your magnificent brain is required for conquering, for strategizing, for deciding which color Bugatti matches your mood today. You cannot be bothered with trivialities like answering emails. You need to acquire assets. I do not use the word hire. Hiring is what a beta manager at a failing paper company does. He posts a job listing for a social media rock star, a title so cringe it could power a small village with second-hand embarrassment. He then receives 500 resumes, each one a masterclass in creative writing and outright fantasy, from people who claim to be passionate about synergy and list Microsoft Word as a technical skill. He hires the one with the firmest handshake and a degree in a useless subject, gives him a pathetic salary, and then acts surprised when the new guy spends all day watching YouTube videos on how to ask for a raise. This is the act of a fool. You are not hiring an employee. An employee is a programmable robot that trades its limited lifespan for a currency designed to keep it enslaved. You are not building a team. A team is a group of people who get together for awkward birthday cakes in the break room. You are recruiting a private army. You are forging a legion. You are hand-selecting soldiers who will go to war for you, whose loyalty to you and the mission is absolute, unshakable, and, if you do it right, borderline psychotic. A single disloyal A player with a shiny resume is a venomous snake you've willingly invited into your house. 10 loyal B players who view you as a god emperor are an unstoppable force. This chapter isn't about HR. This is about acquiring human assets. The hunting ground, where to find your wolves. Forget LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a digital farm for domesticated cattle, a place where sad men in cheap suits endorse each other for skills they don't possess. You are not looking for cattle. You are looking for wolves. And wolves are not found in a petting zoo. 1. The digital trenches. Your DMs are a gold mine of desperation and raw ambition. Buried between the hate mail and the unsolicited pictures, you will find him. He's the 19-year-old kid who messages you every day. His grammar is terrible. His profile picture was taken on an Android phone from 2012. He tells you he just dropped out of his useless community college course because your videos woke him up. He doesn't want a job. He wants to be near the sun. He would probably work for free, but you will pay him just enough to keep him alive and focused. This kid is pure, unadulterated clay. He has no bad habits because he has no habits at all. He is your prime recruiting target. 2. The real-world stress test. You must learn to spot diamonds in the rough. I'm talking about the waiter at a restaurant during the Saturday night rush. The place is on fire. A baby is crying. A woman is complaining that her water isn't watery enough. And this waiter is moving through the chaos with the calm, dead-eyed focus of a special forces operator. He is not a waiter. He is a logistics genius trapped in a body forced to ask people if they want fries with that. Find this man. You are not offering him a job. You are liberating him from a prison of mediocrity. 3. The hunger index. You want soldiers who are hungry. Not just for a steak, but for a new life. Find the man trapped in a town where the most exciting event of the year is a new gas station opening. Find the man whose family told him he'd be a loser, and he is now fueled by a level of spite so pure it could be weaponized. A man with a safety net, a trust fund, a mommy and daddy he can run back to. That man will fold at the first sign of real pressure. A man who has nothing to lose will fight to the death. You want the man who sees this opportunity not as a career move, but as his only escape rope from a life of quiet desperation. The gauntlet, the interview, is a psychological war game. A normal interview is a joke. A candidate puts on a suit that doesn't fit and spews pre-rehearsed answers he found on the internet. It is useless. Your interview process will not be a conversation. It will be a gauntlet. A psychological stress test designed to make a normal person quit and beg for their old job back. The impossible task. You give the candidate a task so unreasonable it borders on parody. Good to meet you. Before we talk, I need you to go out and get me a coffee. Black. From a specific cafe. In another country. You have 90 minutes. Also, while you're there, learn fluent Portuguese. Go. You are not testing if he can actually do it. You are testing his reaction to an insane command from a superior being. Does he laugh nervously? Does he ask if you're serious? Does he start talking about flight prices? He fails. The G you are looking for will just nod, walk out the door, and start running. You don't know how he'll do it, and frankly, you don't care. His immediate, unquestioning obedience is the only thing that matters. The frame battle. You will deliberately attack him. You will look at his resume, chuckle, and toss it in the trash can right in front of him. So, you graduated with honors? From a university I've never heard of? Were the honors for participation? Tell me, what is the single greatest achievement of your life that didn't involve your mother's help? You are looking for his breaking point. Does he get defensive? Does he start to sweat? Does his voice crack? He fails. The soldier you want will hold his frame. He might even smile. My greatest achievement is that I managed to get in a room with you, despite a resume you clearly find insulting. Which means I'm either very lucky or very good. Which one is it? He has passed. The ultimate question: why do you want this job? If the answer contains the words salary, benefits, or God forbid, work-life balance, you will press a silent button under your desk that opens a trapdoor beneath his chair. These are the answers of a mercenary looking for a comfortable life. You are not hiring mercenaries. The only acceptable answer is a variation of this, because this is not a job. From what I can see, you are building a modern-day Rome, and I would rather sweep the floors of your Colosseum than be a king in the world of pathetic men outside these walls. This is the answer of a true believer. This is the answer of a soldier. The currency of kings, paying in glory, not just gold. A paycheck buys a man's time. It does not buy his soul. For that, you need a higher form of currency. You will pay your soldiers a fair wage, but this will be positioned as the least important part of the deal. 1. Proximity to power. The greatest reward you can offer is proximity to yourself. They get to breathe the same air as a god. They get to listen to your phone calls. They get to witness firsthand how an empire is run. They are not just working, they are receiving an education so exclusive and valuable it makes Harvard look like a community college. 2. The crusade. Their work is not a job. It is a holy war. They are not marketing assistants, they are officers of the imperial propaganda ministry. Every task is part of the grand crusade against the Matrix. Steve, I need you to collate these spreadsheets. The data within them will allow us to launch a campaign that will mentally free 10,000 men from slavery. The fate of these 10,000 souls rests on your ability to use Microsoft Excel. Do not fail them. 3. The tribal identity. You will give them a uniform. It will be a ridiculously expensive designer hoodie that costs more than their rent. It is a symbol of their allegiance. It separates them from the civilians in their cheap, mass-produced clothing. It makes them part of an elite tribe. They are no longer just individuals, they are members of your legion. By paying them primarily in these currencies, you are hacking their minds. You are creating soldiers who will work with a fanatical devotion that money could never buy. They are fighting not for a wage, but for a cause. Your cause. And the chance to one day be the one sitting behind the desk with the trapdoor button. Chapter 12. Fire fast, fire first. The necessity of ruthlessness. Your legion is growing. You have surrounded yourself with hungry wolves who look at you with a mixture of terror and adoration, which is the sweet spot. But a pack of wolves without a ruthless alpha is just a chaotic mob that spends all day arguing over who gets to eat the rabbit first. Your soldiers, for all their loyalty, are still human. And humans are walking, talking petri dishes for the viruses of the Matrix, complacency, envy, and the most dangerous of all, the dreaded having an opinion. These viruses cannot be managed with a team-building exercise or a heart-to-heart chat. They cannot be counseled by some HR lady named Janice who thinks the solution to everything is a 45-minute PowerPoint presentation on mindfulness. They must be eradicated with the cold, precise finality of a surgeon removing a cancerous tumor with a rusty spoon. Sentimentality in a commander is not kindness, it is a dereliction of duty. Every moment you hesitate to remove a weak link, you are betraying every strong soldier who is actually doing the work. Your ruthlessness is the highest form of mercy you can show to the health of your empire. This chapter is your scalpel. Let's make some incisions. The Zero Tolerance Protocol, first sign of disloyalty. Disloyalty is not just a soldier sneaking into your office at night to sell your secret plans to the enemy for a handful of magic beans. That is the obvious, clumsy treason of a fool. The disloyalty you must watch for is more subtle, more insidious. It is a poison that spreads through whispers, sighs, and the single most terrifying sound in any organization, the beginning of a complaint. You will have a zero-tolerance policy. The first sign of disloyalty is also the last. The complaint: a soldier does not complain about the mission. He executes it. Complaining is a verbal declaration of victimhood. It is the language of the slave. The man who whines about the workload or the difficulty of a task is a walking, talking car alarm of weakness. He is broadcasting to the entire legion that the mission is too hard, infecting them with his beta mindset. You see a soldier complaining? You do not placate him. You do not ask him, "What's wrong?" You fire him. Fire him so fast his head spins. The questioning of the why: a soldier is told what to do, not why. The why is your domain. It is the grand strategy, conceived on your magnificent throne while you were probably eating olives. His job is the tactical execution. When a soldier starts asking, "But why are we doing it this way? I think my way is better," he is not being innovative. He is challenging your authority. This is a chess piece trying to give the player advice. It is absurd. You do not debate him. You do not explain your grand vision to a pawn. You sweep him off the board. Sire him. Passive aggression, the slow response to an urgent message. The forgotten task. The sarcastic, "Sure, boss," on the company chat. This is the weapon of the coward. It is a rebellion waged in the shadows by someone who lacks the courage to face you directly. It is the business equivalent of leaving a cryptic note written in tears on your desk. This is the most contemptible form of treason. You must react to it as if you have found a raccoon going through your trash. You do not reason with the raccoon. You do not try to understand its feelings. You chase it out of your yard with a broom. Sire him. With a broom, if necessary. There are no warnings. There are no performance improvement plans. A PIP is a 60-day notice you give to a loser so he has time to steal all your good pens. Your empire is a lean, predatory war machine. The moment you identify the infection, you amputate. There is no negotiation. The decision is instant and the execution is final. The public execution, firing as a tool of power. When you fire someone, you are not just removing a problem. You are delivering a sermon to everyone who remains. The firing must be a demonstration. It must be a cold, clear, and unforgettable lesson in cause and effect. The beta manager takes the failing employee into a private room. He probably offers him a cup of herbal tea. He speaks in soft, therapeutic tones. He says things like, "It's not you, it's us, and we wish you the best in your future endeavors." He does this because he is a coward. He is terrified of confrontation and wants to soothe his own guilt. You will do the opposite. The firing should, whenever possible, be implicitly public. You do not need to scream at them in the middle of the office. But the removal must be swift and visible, like a magic trick where the magician makes a rabbit disappear, except the rabbit is a slightly incompetent graphic designer named Steve. The message. 1. Summon them. There is no preamble. No, "Hey, got a minute?" You walk to their desk and say, with the calm authority of a man ordering a coffee, "My office. Now." 2. The declaration. The conversation is not a dialogue. It is a software uninstallation. It should last no more than 60 seconds. "Steve, your contributions have become misaligned with our trajectory. Your time with this organization has reached its conclusion. Pack your personal effects. You have 5 minutes. 3. No debate. Steve will try to argue. He's a human, it's what they do. He will plead. He will try to justify the fact he spent 3 days choosing a font for a single JPEG. You will meet this with a wall of absolute, magnificent silence. You will not engage. You will not explain. To explain is to justify your decision, which implies that your authority is debatable. It is not. Your decision is as final as gravity, and Steve is about to experience it firsthand. 4. The escort. Steve is now an enemy combatant on your territory. He is to be escorted from the building immediately, preferably by your largest and most intimidating-looking soldier. His access to all systems was, of course, revoked before the conversation even began. What is the effect of this on the rest of your legion? Seer. Respect. Every soldier who witnesses this ritual understands the stakes with perfect clarity. They will return to their desks not resentful, but with a renewed, sharpened focus. The fear of your judgment will make them work harder and with more precision than any motivational speech ever could. You have culled the weakest gazelle from the herd, and the entire herd is now faster for it. The myth of the indispensable man. As your empire grows, one soldier may rise above the rest. A top performer. A killer salesman. A brilliant programmer who seems to understand computers on a spiritual level. He will start to believe, and may even subtly suggest, that he is indispensable. He is the golden goose. He may think the empire needs him more than he needs it. This belief is the most dangerous form of dissent. The moment a soldier believes he is untouchable, he has become your master. You must systematically dismantle the possibility of any man becoming indispensable. Create redundancies. Every critical task in your organization must be understood by at least 2 people. Your star salesman must have his process recorded and turned into a training manual titled, How to Sell Like a God, written by a mortal I fired. Isolate key relationships. If a soldier is the sole point of contact for a major client, you will insert yourself into that relationship. You will take the client out for a dinner so expensive it makes his eyes water. The client's loyalty must be to the empire, not to the individual soldier. And if, despite all this, a soldier becomes arrogant, if he challenges your frame believing you cannot afford to lose him, you must perform the ultimate act of command. You must fire him. You must fire your best performer. It must be done publicly. It must be done without hesitation. It will be an act that sends a thermonuclear shockwave through your entire organization. It will be painful in the short term. You may lose money. You may lose a key client. It does not matter. The message you are sending is the most powerful one a leader can ever send. No1 is more important than the mission. No1 is above the commander's authority. The empire will survive the loss of any single man, no matter how talented. By sacrificing your most valuable piece on the chessboard. You prove that you are the one who controls the board. The temporary loss will be repaid 1,000 times over in the form of the absolute, error-induced loyalty of everyone who remains. They will know, without a shadow of a doubt, who is king. Chapter 13, Creating a Company Culture that Worships Winning. Your legion is assembled. The weak have been purged with the ruthless efficiency of a software update. The loyal remain, looking at you with the wide-eyed adoration of a golden retriever that just saw a steak. You have a disciplined fighting force. But a collection of disciplined soldiers is just an army. An army can win battles. An army can also be defeated, usually because its general was busy attending a mandatory HR seminar about workplace sensitivity. You are not building an army. You are building a cult. Let's be clear. A cult is just an army with better branding and a soul. A cult has a religion. It has a god, that's you, try to keep up. It has a shared system of belief so powerful that its members cease to be individuals and become willing cells in a single, world-conquering organism. A beta CEO builds a company culture. He does this with beanbag chairs that are terrible for your posture, a ping-pong table nobody uses, and free snacks that make everyone fat and sleepy. He writes a mission statement full of words like synergy, innovation, and empowerment that literally mean nothing. He is building a daycare center for adults who need a nap and a juice box. You will build a temple. A glorious, magnificent, and unapologetically savage temple dedicated to the worship of a single, beautiful god, winning. And you, my friend, will be its high priest, decked out in the finest robes money can buy. This is how you make your empire immortal and infinitely more entertaining. The lexicon of the Legion, forging a new language. The first thing any good cult leader does is make up a bunch of words. This is critical. It makes everyone feel special and makes the outside world sound like a bunch of confused cavemen. Your language builds the walls of your fortress. Those who speak it are the cool kids. Everyone else is a clueless NPC. You do not have meetings. You convene war councils. A meeting is a place where Brenda from accounting talks about her cat for 20 minutes. A war council is where you point at a map, declare which village you will be pillaging next, and everyone yells in agreement. You do not have projects. You launch campaigns, conquests, or raids. A project sounds like something your nerdy nephew has to finish for science class. A campaign is a glorious military operation. The campaign to increase Q3 profits sounds a lot more heroic than the project to fill out some spreadsheets. You do not have employees or a team. You have legionaries or soldiers. An employee trades their life force for a paycheck and complains about the quality of the coffee. A soldier fights for a cause and for the glory of the Legion. You do not have competitors. You have enemies or targets. A competitor is someone you play a friendly game of tennis with. An enemy is someone whose company you acquire for pennies on the dollar after driving them into bankruptcy, just so you can own their domain name. We are not the same. This new language must be enforced relentlessly. Make it a game. Set up a swear jar, but for beta talk. Every time someone says meeting, they have to put $1 in the jar. You will use that money to buy a bigger, more intimidating chair for your office. You will also create rituals. A weekly victory report where every soldier must stand and publicly declare their biggest win of the week. The wins can be anything from, I closed a $100,000 deal, to, I finally convinced my girlfriend that my Bugatti is a more important spiritual figure than her yoga instructor. And the monthly Gladiator's Helmet Award, you will buy a ridiculous, gold-plated, feather-plumed Roman helmet. The most ruthless, effective soldier gets to keep it on their desk for a month. It is absurd. It is magnificent. It is 1,000 times more motivating than an Employee of the Month plaque. The siege mentality, the world is a cartoon villain. A cult cannot survive in peacetime. Peace is boring. Peace leads to complacency and talking about your feelings. Therefore, it is your sacred duty to maintain a perpetual siege mentality. You are the enlightened few, inside your glorious fortress of winning, surrounded by an ocean of haters, losers, and agents of the Matrix who are probably, at this very moment, trying to figure out how to give you a parking ticket. Every piece of external criticism is a gift. You will not hide it. You will project it onto a giant screen in your war room like it's the main feature at a movie theater. You will stand before your legion, point a dramatic finger at the screen, and say, "Look. A blogger from a basement in Ohio is angry with our success. He has called our marketing campaign problematic. He is afraid of our power. He probably eats gluten. Shall we surrender and return to our miserable lives, or shall we launch a new campaign so successful it makes his head explode?" You are framing the narratives. A missed sales target is not a business failure, it is the enemy scoring a lucky hit on your fortress walls. A successful product launch is not a good quarter, it is a victorious battle that pushes back the forces of darkness and probably makes baby seals happy somewhere. Their work is no longer just a job. It is an act of defiance. It is a holy war against the forces of Amah. This us against the world mentality is the most powerful social glue known to man. It creates a level of unity that no corporate retreat involving trust falls and cheap white wine ever could. The altar of victory, rewarding fanaticism, punishing mediocrity. In a normal company, rewards are sterile. A 3% raise. A gift card to a restaurant you don't like. In your cult, you will reward one thing and one thing only: fanatical devotion to the cause. The soldier who stays until 3 a.m. to finish a campaign, not because he was asked, but because he was so high on caffeine and ambition that he forgot what sleep was, he is a hero. His reward will not just be a bonus. It will be public adoration. You will single him out in the next war council. You will tell his story as a parable of loyalty. You will grant him a new, more glorious title, like Lord Commander of the Eastern Conquests. His job is still just managing email lists, but it sounds better. You are paying him in something more valuable than money, a legendary status within the tribe. Conversely, you must punish mediocrity with the brutal efficiency of a scorned god. The soldier who does the bare minimum, who leaves at 5 p.m. on the dot when the battle is still raging, he is not just an underperformer. He is a heretic. He has insulted the god of winning. He will not be rewarded with your praise. He will not be invited to the inner circle, cigar and strategy sessions on the roof. He will feel the cold chill of exclusion. He will see the fanatical legionaries being celebrated while he sits in the shadows, probably eating his gluten-free sandwich and feeling sad. He will be forced to make a choice: elevate his devotion to the level of the cult, or be purged. There is no comfortable middle ground in a religion. You are either a true believer or you are an apostate who gets to go work at a normal company. Good luck with that. By creating this culture, you have transcended business. You have created a living entity, an organism that shares one mind and one purpose: to conquer. And to have a ridiculously good time doing it. Your soldiers will work harder, fight longer, and remain more loyal than any army of mercenaries because they are fighting for something more than a salary. They are fighting for their God. They are fighting for you. And they are fighting for their right to wear a stupidly awesome gladiator's helmet at their desk. Part Size: Perpetual War, Defending the Throne. Chapter 14, The Pleasure of Being Hated, Weaponizing Your Enemies. If you have followed the G code to this point, a new and beautiful sound will begin to fill your life. It is not the purr of your new supercar, nor the polite applause of your loyal soldiers. It is a different kind of music. It is the glorious symphony of their tears. It is the high-pitched, screeching cacophony of the triggered, the mediocre, and the terminally offended. It is the beautiful sound of hate. The beta hears this sound and panics. He thinks he has done something wrong. He rushes to apologize, to smooth things over, to make the scary noises stop. The slave is terrified of being disliked. You, however, will learn to hear this sound as the roaring applause of the heavens. You will learn to crave it. You will learn that the silence of the world means you are a nobody, but the howling, venomous rage of the masses means you are a king. Their hatred is not a problem to be solved. It is the ultimate metric. It is the final, undeniable proof that you have become a force so significant that the very fabric of their pathetic reality is tearing at the seams. This chapter will teach you how to stop enduring their hatred and start monetizing it. You will learn to take their impotent fury and transmute it into pure, high-octane rocket fuel for your empire. Introducing your new, unpaid marketing department. I want you to picture a man. He's about 120 pounds overweight, lives in a basement apartment that smells faintly of regret, and his proudest possession is a novelty mug that says, "World's Best Cactad." He has just seen one of your videos. His face is turning a delightful shade of crimson. His fingers, greasy from whatever sad snack he's consuming, begin to fly across his keyboard. This man is now your employee. And he is the best employee you will ever have. He will work for you 18 hours a day, 7 days a week, with more passion and dedication than any salaried worker. And his compensation? The profound satisfaction of screaming into a void. Your chief engagement officers, these are your comment section warriors. Every furious, multi-paragraph essay they write about what a terrible person you are is a gift to the algorithm. The platform, be it YouTube, Instagram, or Twitter, is a dumb machine. It doesn't understand emotion. It only understands activity. It sees their rage-fueled rants and thinks, wow, this content is causing a massive reaction. People are passionate. We must show this to everyone on the planet. The hater, in his desperate attempt to deplatform you, is actively commanding the machine to make you famous. He is your most effective and angriest social media manager. You're directors of viral content. This role is filled by the journalists and influencers who create videos or write articles about you. They will take your most polarizing clip, strip it of all context, and present it to their herd of sheep as proof of your evil. In doing so, they have just created a perfect, bite-sized, viral advertisement for your brand and distributed it to their entire following for free. Thousands of young men who were trapped in their bubble of mediocrity have now been exposed to your philosophy. The journalist intended to build a cage around you. Instead, he built a bridge for your new recruits to march across. You will never, ever block these people. You will never silence them. They're your star performers. You will sit back, smoke a cigar, and watch your unpaid interns work themselves into a frenzy building your global brand. The art of the counterstrike: never apologize, never explain. The beta's instinct when attacked is to crumble. To apologize for his own existence. An apology is beta blood in the water. It signals weakness and invites a feeding frenzy. You will never apologize for the truth. You will never explain yourself to insects. When they attack, you do not defend. To defend is to accept the premise of their attack. Instead, you launch a devastating counterstrike designed not to win the argument, but to annihilate their entire frame. The frame annihilation. You do not engage with the content of their insult. You obliterate the credibility of the person who delivered it. Them, you're nothing but a con man. The beta, that's not true. My business is legitimate and provides real value. He is now dancing for their approval, trying to prove his worth. Pathetic. This criticism comes from a man who wears a tie to an office he hates, to earn a salary his wife finds disappointing, to pay for a car he can't afford. You are not being conned. You are simply witnessing a reality so far beyond your own comprehension that your brain has short-circuited and labeled it at the con. It's okay. Go back to your spreadsheets. The world of winners is not for you. Your views on women are dangerous and toxic. The beta, that's a misunderstanding of my point. I actually respect women, and here are 3 examples. He is now a dancing monkey, seeking the approval of his accuser. Disgusting. Your opinion has been noted. It comes from a man with pronouns in his bio, who likely had to ask his wife's permission to post this comment from the guest room where he's been sleeping since he forgot their anniversary. The views of a man who cannot command respect in his own home are, respectfully, less valuable to me than the buzzing of a fly. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a private jet to catch. The dismissive laugh. This is perhaps the most powerful weapon of all. It requires supreme frame control. When an attack is particularly unhinged or emotional, the correct response is a calm, deep, genuine laugh of amusement. Post a video of you reading their hate-filled comment on your phone, letting out a short, dismissive chuckle, and then taking a sip of your espresso as you look out over the Monaco harbor from your balcony. That single laugh communicates more than 1,000 words. It says, your rage is a tiny, amusing spectacle. You are a clown in my circus. Your attempt to harm me is so pathetic it has provided me with a moment of light entertainment. Their sword has shattered against your shield of absolute indifference. The fuel of gods, your daily dose of hate. You must reprogram your mind. You must learn to experience the hate not as a negative, but as a profound, energizing pleasure. Make it a morning ritual. Before you check your bank accounts, before you issue orders to your legion, you will open up your social media. You will scroll through the comments. You will actively seek out the most vitriolic, hateful messages you can find. This is not self-flagellation. This is your morning coffee. This is the fuel of the gods. Let their envy remind you of how far you've come. Let their rage sharpen your resolve. Let their predictable, NPC-like insults remind you of the very matrix you are fighting against. Each hateful comment is a confirmation that you are on the right path. It is proof that you are a disruptive force, a terror to the old world. If they want screaming, you'd be doing something wrong. Smile at their fury. Laugh at their clumsy attempts to wound you. Let the energy of their hatred flow into you, not as a poison, but as a stimulant. A man who is afraid of being disliked is a prisoner. But a man who is fueled by the hatred of his enemies, a man who can literally convert their rage into his own personal power, that man is no longer just a king. He is a god. And the war has only just begun to be fun. Chapter 15, The Matrix Strikes Back, Navigating Law, Taxes, and Institutional Traps. So, you've done it. The money is stacking so high you need a ladder to count it. Your legion is loyal. Your enemies have blocked you on all social media platforms. You are, for all intents and purposes, a king. You probably think you've completed the game. You're looking for the credits to roll. Adorable. What you've done is finish the tutorial. You see, up until now, you've been fighting amateurs. Rival hustlers, internet trolls, angry journalists who cry themselves to sleep. That was the qualifying round. By becoming successful, by becoming a beacon of sovereign thought, you have just appeared on the radar of the game's final boss. The final boss is not a dragon, it is a middle-aged man in an ill-fitting suit with a government pension. And he is far more dangerous. The Matrix itself is now sending its elite soldiers to destroy you. These soldiers do not carry swords, they carry subpoenas. They are the taxman, the regulator, the federal agent, and the humorless international banker. They are the white blood cells of the global system, and you are a virus they are desperate to quarantine. Their goal is to find you, freeze you, and drag you back into the cage you so gloriously escaped. If your entire empire is registered to your home address and all your money is sitting in a Bank of America checking account, then congratulations, you are a stationary target. You are a giant, juicy steak nailed to a tree, and the wolves are coming. This chapter is your guide to becoming a ghost. A financial specter. This is how you learn to play a game so advanced they won't even realize you're on the board. Jurisdictional arbitrage, the art of being nowhere and everywhere. The slave is proud of his country. He waves a little flag. He has a single passport. He thinks this is patriotism. It's not. It's a chain. His entire existence is tied to the whims of one group of politicians. He is a tree, rooted in one spot, waiting patiently for the lumberjack. AG does not have a home. He has a network of strategic bases. He plays the game of jurisdictional arbitrage. It's a fancy term for being smarter than the people who make the rules. Collect passports like Pokemon cards. Your single passport makes you a pawn of one government. It's like having only one life in a video game with no respawn points. You need multiple lives. You will acquire citizenship, legally, of course, in several key countries. You need a portfolio. You need a robust European passport for easy travel. You need a passport from a tax-friendly island nation where the national sport is minding your own business. And you should probably have one from a chaotic South American country just for fun, a get-out-of-jail-free card if things get truly spicy. When one government becomes hostile, you don't fight a losing battle on their turf. You simply switch avatars. You become a citizen of somewhere else. Pulse. Live where you are treated best. Your tax home should be a deliberate, strategic choice. You will acquire legal residency in a place like Dubai or the Cayman Islands, where the concept of income tax is considered a hilarious joke. You will physically spend enough time there to make it legit. The idea of giving 50% of your hard-won earnings to a government so they can waste it on projects you despise is the ultimate beta move. You will pay the absolute legal minimum, which, if you are smart, is zero. You must become a global citizen, a man of the world. A ghost in the machine. When they send their agents to find you, you're not there. You're on a different continent, under a different name, protected by a different legal system, paying a different, and much lower, tax rate. The gray man financial system, making your wealth invisible. The slave trusts his bank. He sees the number on his banking app and thinks, that's my money. What a sweet, simple-minded fool. That number is not your money. It is a digital IOU from a bank that is a glorified government department. It can be frozen, seized, or turned off with a single phone call from a man in a suit you'll never meet. You will operate a gray man financial system. Your wealth will be quiet, fluid, and structured like a demented spiderweb designed by a paranoid genius. Magic internet money that makes governments cry. We are talking about crypto. Not as a stupid gamble, but as a tool of financial sovereignty. A significant portion of your liquid wealth will exist in Bitcoin and Monero, stored on a hardware wallet, a tiny USB stick that is your own personal, offshore, unseizable bank. It is the financial equivalent of a stealth bomber. They can't shoot down what they can't see on the radar. Ancient wealth, modern problems, digits are great, but you need anchors in the real world. You will own physical gold and silver, not held in a vault in your own country, but in a private, non-bank vault in a place like Switzerland or Singapore. You will also own a collection of absurdly expensive watches. That Patek Philippe on your wrist isn't just to impress women, it's $1 million of liquid, untraceable value that you can walk through any airport in the world. It's a getaway fund strapped to your arm. The corporate shell game, you will own nothing directly. Your name will not be on a single deed or title. Your Bugatti, owned by an LLC in Wyoming. Your London penthouse, owned by a Panamanian trust. Your yacht, owned by a corporation in the Marshall Islands. When an enemy agent tries to search for your assets, he won't find your name. He will be lost in a legal labyrinth so complex he'll need a map, a compass, and a team of very expensive lawyers just to find the entrance. By the time he gets anywhere, you will have dissolved and restructured the entire thing. It's a full-time job just to figure out who owns your coffee machine. Lawyers on retainer, your offensive strike force. A beta hires a lawyer when he's in trouble. A G keeps a team of legal killers on retainer so he never gets in trouble. Your lawyers are not a fire extinguisher. They are a flamethrower. You will not have one lawyer. You will have a council of them. Your primary lawyer will be a specialist in international asset protection, a man so ruthless he probably scares other lawyers. You will pay him an obscene amount of money every year just to be on standby. This is your war chest fund. It is not for investing. It is for making your enemies' lives a living legal hell. The first strike policy, the moment a low-level media outlet prints a lie about you, your legal assassin doesn't just send a letter. He files a multi-million-dollar defamation suit designed to cause an immediate financial panic in their boardroom. They will retract so fast it will create a sonic boom. They wanted a clickbait story. You have dragged them into a world war. They will never make that mistake again. The financial exhaustion strategy: if some idiot with a law degree decides to sue you civilly, you will not settle. Settling is an admission of guilt. You will instruct your team to unleash hell. You will bury them in motions. You will countersue them, their dog, and their grandmother. You will make the legal process so painfully long and astronomically expensive that they will have to sell their house just to pay their own legal fees for the first month. You will make them rue the day they ever learned how to spell your name. You are not breaking their laws. You are using their own overcomplicated, expensive system against them with more resources and less mercy. You have mastered their game so completely that you are now immune to it. You are not above the law. You exist in a different legal dimension altogether. The Matrix has sent its champions, and they have found that you are not even playing their game. You have picked up the board, redesigned the rules, and moved to a private island where their pieces can't reach you. Checkmate. Chapter 16, The Disease of Contentment, Why Your Biggest Win is Your Biggest Threat. So, you did it. You followed every command. You executed the sniveling little slaves inside your skull. You mastered the physics of speed so thoroughly that you move through time like a speeding ticket. You have built an empire from the dust of your former pathetic life, forged a legion of fanatics who would probably get your face tattooed on their chest if you asked them to, and structured your existence to be so untouchable by the Matrix that the taxman mentions your name in his nightmares. You have won. And right there, in that single, stupid, self-congratulatory thought, in that fleeting moment of satisfaction where you lean back in your chair and think, I've made it, you stand on the precipice of absolute, total, and frankly, hilarious annihilation. Your biggest victory is not a monument. It's a giant, flashing neon sign in the middle of a dark forest that says, "Free steak dinner here for all wolves." Your greatest achievement is not a fortress. It is a lighthouse, signaling to every hungry, broke, and more driven than you shark in the ocean that a big, fat, slow-moving seal is sunbathing on the rocks. The final enemy isn't the government, your competitors, or the blue-haired trolls on Twitter. The final enemy is that warm, cozy, sleepy little voice in your head, the one that sounds suspiciously like your loser uncle, whispering, "You've earned a break. You can relax now." Contentment is a disease. It is a spiritual diabetes you get from consuming too much of your own success. It is a sweet-tasting poison that makes you fat, slow, and stupid. It turns your six-pack into a keg. It turns your paranoia into a dopey smile. It turns a predator into prey. The most dangerous moment of your entire life is not when you are broke and fighting for scraps. It is the day you feel you have absolutely nothing left to prove. Paranoia as a virtue, the only mindset for a king. The beta craves safety. He dreams of a day when he can curl up in his little hobbit hole with his 401k and feel secure. It's a pathetic life ambition. He might as well wish to be a house cat. This is why he will always be prey. He doesn't understand that the world is a jungle, and security is an illusion sold to sheep just before shearing season. You, on the other hand, must cultivate a state of productive paranoia. This isn't a nervous, twitchy fear. It's a calm, professional, 360-degree awareness that you are being hunted. It's a gentleman's paranoia. You must wake up every single morning with the unshakable conviction that a 19-year-old version of you is out there, somewhere, in a basement apartment that smells like ambition and stale coffee. He has 2 computer monitors, an internet connection, and a level of hatred for his current circumstances that could power a small city. He is not watching Netflix. He is studying you. He is watching your interviews, reverse engineering your business models, and looking for the one tiny crack in your armor. He doesn't sleep. He doesn't have a girlfriend to distract him. He is fueled by pure, unadulterated rage and a desire to take everything you have. He is coming for your throne, and he is not going to ask for it politely. The moment you think, "I feel safe," you have lost. The second you believe your walls are high enough, that is the second your 19-year-old nemesis finds a ladder. Your paranoia is not a sign of weakness, it is the ultimate sign of intelligence. It is the operating system of a king. It's what keeps you checking the security cameras, testing your soldiers' loyalty, and scanning the horizon for the next threat. It keeps your blade sharp and your empire standing. That empty the throne mentality. They tell you that when Alexander the Great had conquered the known world, he wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer. What a beta. Seriously. He wept. He should have been building a spaceship to go conquer Mars. That is the moment his empire began to die. The moment a conqueror stops conquering, he becomes a museum exhibit. A king who sits comfortably on his gold-plated throne is a dead man in a fancy chair. The throne is not a recliner. It is an electric chair if you sit still for too long. You must live by the empty the throne mentality. Every single morning, you must wake up and look at your life as if you are a broke, hungry usurper who just broke into the castle. That throne is not yours. Your success is not yours. Your money, your cars, your empire, you lost it all last night. Your job today is to win it all back. This is not a metaphor. This is your new reality. You are not the king because you were king yesterday. You are only king if you earn the crown today. This means you never stop. You don't just maintain your physique. That's beta talk. That's how your six-pack turns into a sad, singular one-pack. You find a new, more brutal workout that makes your old routine look like a kindergarten recess. You don't just count your money. A dragon sits on its gold and gets slain by a knight. You take a pile of your money and you throw it at a new, high-risk venture that terrifies you. The fear of losing that money will make you sharper than you've been in years. You don't just lead your legion. You invent a new, more difficult loyalty test. You create a new, impossible task that pushes them to the brink. You remind them that their position in your empire is rented, and the rent is due every single day. You must be more driven now, with a bank account that looks like a phone number, than you were when you were eating instant noodles and driving a piece of junk car. Why? Because when you had nothing to lose. That's a vacation. Now, you have everything to lose. The stakes are not just higher, they are on a different planet. The pressure must be your fuel. The gravitational pull of your own success is a black hole that wants to suck you into a comfortable, mediocre death. You must actively fight it with every fiber of your being. Never-ending conquest, the game has no finish line. So what's the point of all this? If there's no rest, no satisfaction, no finish line, why bother? That is the slave asking that question. The slave thinks the point of the game is to win so he can stop playing. The G knows the game is the prize. The purpose is the glorious, beautiful, unending struggle. The purpose is the feeling of waking up at dawn, fueled by a perfect espresso, and imposing your will on the chaos of the universe for 18 straight hours. The purpose is the war. The money, the cars, the women, the private jets, that's not the prize. That's just the scoreboard. That's just the beautiful, high-resolution wallpaper of a life lived in a state of perpetual conquest. You are a shot. A shark that decides to take a little vacation and chill at the bottom of the ocean dies. It's not a choice. It is your nature. You were not built for the quiet harbor. You were built for the storm, for the blood in the water, for the unending hunt. To wish for peace is to wish for your own death. You will not find happiness on a beach sipping a drink with a little paper umbrella in it. You look like an idiot. The sand gets in your shoes. The sun burns your skin. That is the pathetic heaven of a man who has given up. You will find something far greater than happiness. You will find glory. You will find it in the quiet hum of your Lamborghini's engine at midnight. You will find it in the terror of a new venture that could either make you a billionaire or bankrupt you. You will find it in the eyes of the enemies who fear you and the soldiers who would follow you into hell with squirt guns. The war does not end. And that, my friend, is the best news you will ever receive. Conclusion: there is no finish line. Welcome to the war. So, you've reached the end. You turned the last page. Congratulations. You have successfully completed the act of reading. The bar for achievement in the modern world is truly on the floor. I am genuinely, breathtakingly impressed. Now what? Let me tell you what will happen for 99.9% of you. You will feel a little tingle. A spark of motivation. You will close this book, place it on your nightstand, and think, tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will become a killer. Then you will go and order a large pizza with extra cheese, arguing with yourself that you need the calories for the war ahead. You will watch 7 hours of some mind-numbing series on Netflix until your brain has the consistency of warm yogurt. Your life will not change. In a week, this book will be a vague memory, a coaster for a can of soda. In a month, you'll put it on your shelf next to that other book you bought about The Secret, still waiting for the universe to magically deliver a Lamborghini to your driveway. The only secret, my friend, is that you are lazy. You will remain a spectator. You will continue to watch my life on your phone while complaining about yours. You'll probably leave a 1-star review, typed with fingers sticky from Dorito dust, whining that my advice was unrealistic and that I was mean. Good. Please do. Fuel my algorithm. Your impotent rage is the gasoline that powers my Bugatti. You are, and will remain, a willing cog in a machine you don't even understand. Thank you for your service. But maybe there is one of you. Maybe 0.1%. Maybe there is one guy reading this in a rented room that smells of despair, one guy whose soul has been so utterly crushed by the Matrix that he is finally, truly, ready to burn it all down. One guy who understands that this was not a self-help book. Self-help is a lie. This was a declaration of war. For you, the one guy, understand this. This book is not a magic pill. I have not sprinkled fairy dust on these pages that will suddenly make you rich and powerful. I have handed you a loaded gun. The safety is now off. The principles inside this book, the ruthlessness, the speed, the absolute frame control, are live ammunition. If you are stupid, you will shoot yourself in the foot. You will alienate everyone around you and end up with nothing. That is your problem, not mine. I am already on a private jet, flying to a country whose name you can't pronounce, sipping on sparkling water that costs more than your entire wardrobe, finalizing a deal that will make your annual salary look like a rounding error. I have given you the weapons. I am not responsible for your aim. Do not email me telling me about your journey. I do not care about your journey. Your feelings are irrelevant. Your struggles are your own business. The world does not give out trophies for trying. It gives out stacks of cash and deeds to property for winning. Your journey is a series of brutal, bloody battles. The only thing that matters is the outcome. The real final boss isn't in this book. The final boss is the man you see in the mirror every morning. He is the one who will beg for comfort. He is the one who will rationalize mediocrity. He is the one who will tell you to take a day off. Every single day for the rest of your life, your first task is to look that man in the eye and defeat him. You must kill the beta inside you, again and again, every single sunrise. The happiness they sell you is a scam. Retiring to a beach? Sand is irritating. It gets everywhere. A cocktail with a stupid little umbrella? You look like a clown. That is the heaven of a peasant. The happiness of a king, the joy of a G, is not found in rest. It is found in the struggle. It is the beautiful sound of a V12 engine roaring to life at dawn. It is the look in a competitor's eyes when he realizes he has been completely and utterly outplayed. It is the profound peace that comes from knowing you have squeezed every drop of potential out of your day while the rest of the world slept. So, this isn't the end. This is the starting pistol. The war against your weakness, against the world's mediocrity, against the very concept of good enough, does not end. It is eternal. It is the great game. And the prize for winning the game is that you get to keep playing at a higher level tomorrow. Welcome to the war. Don't be a loser.